Netflix is testing. They're using this as testing. They're gonna make a big move into theaters in a big way.
Yeah, One Piece. The live action adaptation coming from Netflix. So they're about to air season two. And the great news, and I love seeing this, is when Netflix just keeps doing it and puts out their stuff in theaters because they've always said they're a streamer first. They don't care about theatrical. But here we are. We're back because we got the pleasure of seeing Stranger Things, the finale in theaters. And man, like that was so special. Just,
Mhm.
I mean, because I watched it again after we saw it in theaters, and it didn't have that magic. Like,
Yeah.
there's a legit magic in movie theaters, especially with people who love the show too.
Yeah.
Just watching it with the like-minded fans around you and the excitement on certain moments, and I'm sure you're gonna get just like that with One Piece season 2. So they're dropping the first 2 episodes, and again, this is just like a brilliant idea that we just want to see more of because time and time again we've seen the data that especially well mainly when it comes to movies. Like if Netflix were to make a movie, put it out in theaters first, gain the hype, gain money. I mean, like earn some real money instead of just dumping it on the streamer and not making anything. You're gonna make more money. Period. And not only that, you just get the theater experience of it, you get more hype, you build a lot more things when you add theater experience. People say the theater is dying. Hell no. Like, I mean, the more people invest in theaters, the more we really see its return. And it's just never not a special place. It's always special. David, curious your thoughts on One Piece. Have you seen the show, or your thoughts on the it going to theaters?
Yeah, I again, Netflix is testing. They're using this as testing for I think they're gonna make a big move into theaters in a big way. Maybe not this year or maybe not even next year, but within a few years, I feel like we're gonna see a lot of Netflix films dropping in the theaters.
Yeah,
And they're using this as just data and testing. Netflix is a data company. They they only make decisions based on what the data is telling them. That's how they changed the game. They changed the entire industry with House of Cards because they had the data of what their viewers were wanting to watch, and they made a big bet, and it literally transformed the TV industry as we know it, for better or for worse. Um, so they're testing this to see how it does. They were testing it with Stranger Things, and Stranger Things did unbelievably well. Has there ever been a series finale of a TV show that has dropped in theaters?
as far as I know, no. That's probably the only
Yeah,
one.
and I mean, that experience was unbelievable. It was fantastic. It was so good
Yeah,
because it's like, you know, sometimes you'll go to a theater and you might like if it's a Friday night, you go to the theater for a new release, it's packed. You might be sitting next to people that suck, frankly, that
yeah,
are talking about whatever, and it's just annoying. Like it ruins your experience. And it almost like it felt like while watching Stranger Things, like we weren't going to get that because of how invested people were.
yep,
People were going to see it because they already had a ridiculous amount of stake in the game
yeah,
from seeing, the last 5 seasons of Stranger Things, and it
yeah,
was just the epic finale. So, I think we got I don't know, maybe if you're watching this and you had a horrible theater experience and people were talking around you at the Stranger Things finale, go ahead and talk about it in the comments. But we didn't have that. We had people
everyone was locked in.
crying. Everyone was locked the Fraser Smith in. I mean, they were just, like, locked in, and, it was one of the best theater experiences I've ever had personally.
Yeah,
I mean, it was so memorable, and like you said, like, it wouldn't hit at home, and that's another thing that was so great about it is so many people watched it by themselves. Maybe they watched it with a significant other or family or whatever, um, but to have, like, a massive group of people watch it was truly amazing. So Netflix is testing that they had the K-pop Demon Hunters. They tested that. That topped the box office. They technically topped the box office, kind of, with the Stranger Things thing. Not officially, but
Right.
technically, from a monetary perspective, it did. And that money all went to the theaters. That didn't go anywhere else. That
Mhm.
money all went to the theaters. So you have to think that also that in and of itself would give distributors uh more desire. Like you're gonna have to think that Netflix has some stake in the negotiating game of like how they want to negotiate theater releases
Mhm.
because like they basically gave them free money
Right.
with the Stranger Things finale.
Yep.
And that was again for one weekend. A weekend. That was it. It was what, 2 days?
Yeah, yeah, just
Saturday
2
and
days.
Sunday, So it's like they're testing this, and I think they're gonna make a big move in the theaters coming soon here. You know, the if the data continues to show that the stuff that they drop in theaters is doing well, it's only a matter of time, right? I mean,
Mhm.
I'd have to think it's only a matter of time before we get Netflix movies that are in theaters, that drop in theaters first and then go on their platforms.
Yeah.
I'd have
Yeah.
to I'd have to think that.
Yeah, I sure hope it's soon. That'd be really awesome to see. And like, we talked about it before the show, but the recent news that Paramount is now getting Warner Brothers, but
Yes.
originally Netflix had them. And now it's like seeming that now I'm sure this deal was made with theaters before this, before that happened, before Paramount won. But it seems like Netflix might go in the direction. It's like, well, Warner Brothers was going to be our theatrical outlet, but now since we don't have that anymore, let's carve one out ourselves. And I wouldn't doubt that that's kind of the route they're going to go. And
Yeah.
yeah, like with Stranger Things, with this, with hopefully some other future things, maybe Wednesday, because Wednesday is huge. They could drop a few episodes of Wednesday, but like the feel with these two recent films or two recent shows that they've dropped with Stranger Things and One Piece, they're low key like epic set pieces and
Mhm.
action that's really big. So on a theater screen, they're worth it. So it makes sense for those. So, curious to see other shows tackle that. And yeah, I mean, we're hoping they could keep doing this because we love to see any support for movie theaters. Again, it was super cool that with the Stranger Things deal, that it was all for the theaters. All that money was for them. And with this One Piece, I'm pretty sure it's more of the same. I don't know if they're doing like the same voucher thing that they did with Stranger Things.
Yeah.
That one I
Interesting.
don't know of, but yeah, curious to see the results on that because I know One Piece live action is beloved. I saw the first couple episodes and it was great. I just didn't continue just because I was just worried about other stuff. But from what I saw, it was great. And I know the anime is like 50 gabillion episodes, so
Yeah,
it's
it's
to tackle that sounds super daunting.
yeah,
But
there's I
yeah,
guess, One Piece is trying, or Netflix is trying to remake One Piece, like the anime.
right. I heard that.
One Piece is heavily tied to Netflix, and they have a lot of other anime there, and anime has been releasing arcs as movies that have just been absolutely obliterating at the box
Right.
office. I mean, the Demon Slayer movie,
Yep.
the Chainsaw Man movie, um, both of those just obliterated. They did so ridiculously well. So, in terms of shows and then like a piece of the show, finale of the show, a big moment of the show, going to the theaters, Netflix tested it with Stranger Things. It seemed to freaking work. Maybe they're gonna do it, with other things, and they're testing it the beginning of a new season now. So they'll have data on the beginning of the season. They had data on the end of a series. So it's gonna be interesting to see what the data says.
Yes, indeed. Hopefully, it's good data. We want to see good data for
Good
Netflix.
data.
Yes.